Right then, this is just a quick walk around video, and this is for a very rare beast. This is a Honda HR-V 1.6, and it's the four-wheel drive version. High level rear spoiler on this particular car as well, which was an option at the time. 2000 registered, as you can see, on an X plate, and with an extraordinary 20,700 miles. Absolutely genuine mileage as well. The car is in wonderful condition, with only the right kind of age-related wear that you'd expect to see on any used car over 18 years old, regardless of mileage. But the front here, the bonnet itself, there's hardly a mark, anything to be seen anywhere on it. It's truly amazing. Come down the near side of the car first. Very clean in the panel work. I did see, I think, one tiny little soft dent, which could be easily pulled out if necessary. The front wing completely clean. Under the arches there, as you can see, again completely clear. There's no blistering or anything on there. Front alloy, again incredibly clean. And then to come down the rest of the near side of the car, just to show you this one I spotted. Just there, got a tiny little indentation with a little touching on it, but it is there. And as I said, the point of the video is pick up on anything I possibly can for you. Just going down the range of the panel work, which is so original, it's amazing. And on this side again, absolutely as clean as a whistle. And again, all around here, completely clean. Around the back of the vehicle itself, all very good. Now here you've got some age-related marks, which you can get them touched in. So a couple of little marks there, and just on point of entry along down here. But it's best to see it original. I've not been sprayed, and it's not going to be sprayed. It's going to remain completely original. Whatever anyone wants to do with it thereafter is up to them. I've learned my lesson in this trade, and keeping things original is very important indeed. Then off side of the vehicle, again, all very clean and tidy. Rear alloy again, very clean, just a little bit of mark on the centre cap there. Again, all around here, it's all very clean and tidy. And then down the remainder of the panel work, all incredibly clean. It really is amazing. Both the wing mirrors do have a little, I mean, you do get the odd little marks on the edges there where people sort of tap into them, and it is on there as well. But in all honesty, I don't think you're ever going to see an HR-V of this vintage with this mileage or in this condition. So coming to the back now, worth pointing out, this car has just arrived and it's not been cleaned at all. It's exactly how the car came to us. You can see there, the fabrics on there are absolutely as new almost. The only marks you'll see are on some of the plastics, which you'd expect to see on any car that's been used in any way. Let's go into the front now. Front passenger door card, clean as a whistle. The dashboard itself is absolutely amazingly clean. And as I said, just to reiterate, this car has not been cleaned or polished or nothing done to it at all. It's exactly how it came to us. The seats are all very good with only the tiniest amount of wear. Original Honda mats for the HR-V fitted to this particular vehicle as well, which is nice to see, to keep the authenticity and originality of it as well. Just to show you on the back there, rear seats. These are 4-seat cars, by the way, worth pointing out. But the rear seats don't realistically look as though they've ever been used at all, or hardly at all. Coming to the driver's side now, door card here could do with a bit of a clean. Just needs a tiny bit of sort of elbow grease to clean this up slightly, but again, completely original. I've not done it yet, and I can do it. It would take about 5 minutes to do it. But honestly, absolutely wonderful machine. So inside the car now, just to pan around the dashboard for you, but the dashboard itself just looks absolutely as new. It really is quite incredible in here. And just to come across to the main dashboard itself, see there, 20,711 miles. That will go up slightly. I will be using this car, although I do hardly any mileage at all. But It's such a wonderful car. I can't help myself. I'm going to have to drive around in this one for a while. What will follow this video will be a road test of this very car. Right then, this is a road test video for what is quite a rare car to say the least. This car is registered X68UFC. It's a Honda HR-V 1.6 and it's covered a completely genuine 20,703 miles. Absolutely an astonishing car. Just a brief background to this particular vehicle. We've literally lucked upon it because it's come in on part exchange. Chap bought again a very low mileage Lexus from us, almost identical mileage actually. But I was so pleased to have this one offered to us. A few years ago, or many years ago now, used to work at the local Honda Bristol dealership, and I was actually there at the launch of the original Joy machine, as they called the HR-V at the time. Fleet of, I think it was Supersonic Blue or something similar, HR-Vs were delivered to us, and yeah, I mean, it was a complete game changer for the market. Wasn't ready for them, in all honesty. It was never a huge success, A, because they never brought the numbers over. We could sell them, but we never had the cars available. But now, of course, the road's absolutely filled with this type of car, and yeah, Honda were there right from the outset, producing these vehicles, and it is an amazing car. Chap, I think last year had the cam belt done as a precaution. Even though the mileage was low, certainly age would suggest that you should get the belts done, and he had that done. The car drives exactly as I remember. The engine starts absolutely instantly. There's no warning lights on the car at all. Temperature gauge is running at a third, which is exactly where it should be, and it's been running for quite some time now. But it's just such a sweet-natured car. The engine sounds great when revving, very sweet to rev, very keen to pull through all the gears, very well matched to this car. It's a wonderful unit, certainly there's the height of Honda's powers at this time, and just it feels just such a brilliantly engineered car, even by modern standards. There's quite a few cars I could name which don't drive as well as this, and this thing is now 18 years old. So, but the engine absolutely perfect. Likewise, the clutch absolutely smooth, bite points perfect, actuation is exactly as it should be, feels like new. And then through to unfashionable by modern standards, of course, a 5-speed gearbox, but again a brilliant gearbox from Honda. They were tough gearboxes anyway, but it's just the quality of the gear change is absolutely brilliant. It just brings back so many very fond memories, I have to say. Really is just a wonderful gear change, and it feels exactly as it did when it was brand new. I mean, it's just incredible. The whole car does. The whole car just has that new feel to it. When you sit and drive it, quite often you can get in cars like this, you've got very fond memories of them, but then you get them and you think, oh, actually things have moved on so much that they actually slightly disappoint you. But this is completely the opposite. I kind of expected it to feel older and less able to cope, like with by modern standards, and it doesn't. It's quite the opposite. It feels absolutely brilliant. Steering of the car is just wonderfully precise, and of course you've got proper power steering on these as opposed to the electronic stuff of later cars. It's very light, as was the Honda's way at the time, but very accurate, quick to respond. It was designed to be that way, to be Honda was trying to appeal to the youth market at the time, in their kind of heavy-handed way as they tended to do. But the steering of the car exhibits no wear in it at all. There's no vibrations coming back through it either. Same with the suspension of the vehicle. Again, it's it was one of the first Hondas, but not the first Honda, to use torsion beams on the back. but it rides much more smoothly than some of Honda's later cars with torsion beams. Certainly the Jazz doesn't ride anything like as well as this, but body control is very good. It feels really nippy, really chuckable, and really great fun. Really great fun. And there's no noises emanating from underneath that shouldn't be there. There's no sort of clonks or bangs. You'll hear, you hear it going over the bumps, but you're not getting any kind of those kind of nasty little metal clonks from underneath, which you can get on cars, which is a sign of a bit of suspension wear. Brakes on the car, nice solid brake pedal. There's no pulsing, there's no vibrations going back through. They pull straight and true. It doesn't pull left or right when you hit the brake pedal either. They're absolutely spot on. It is also, I have to say, they always were. It was one of the quietest Hondas you could drive. Engine, like now, feels like it's stalled. It's so quiet in here. But even on the move, it's not as quiet as some modern cars, obviously not, but it is actually a very quiet car. When you rev the engine up like that, you get typical lovely Honda noise. But I'll get up to 60 miles an hour, and I have to say, that's as quiet as probably any car I've driven at this speed in the last couple of weeks. It's unbelievably quiet for a car of this type and age. Hardly any wind noise. There's a bit of road noise, obviously, but the engine's almost inaudible. It's very, very, very refined. Also points to the fact that the door seals and windscreen seals are obviously in good order as well. Looking around inside the car, I mean, you can't get away from the fact that we are in a sort of a 90s vehicle, beautifully built. Not a trim rattle or a buzz from the interior, beautifully bolted together. It was at the time where Honda were using pretty hard plastics for most of their stuff. Very good quality ones, but they are hard. But it was obviously designed to be kind of a recreational vehicle, so you could just wipe them clean, any mud, splatter, dogs getting in the back, just give them a good old wash. But looking at the dashboard, it looks pretty much as new. It's absolutely amazing and joyfully simple, excuse the pun, to use and operate, of course, as well. Air conditioning, by the way, is pumping out cold air, so that's still functioning. Probably going to a bit of extra gas. Dashboard looks like a motorbike dashboard. Nice, condensed, sort of small rather, little dials, dead easy to read. Typical Honda dash of the time. But a lovely place to sit. Driving position is fantastic. You've got amazing visibility by modern standards. Absolutely amazing. It really is. But everything I've worked thus far has worked exactly as it should, which is exactly what I expect from Honda. They build these things to last. But a genuinely fantastic car. It's a real time warp. And as I say in the advert text, this is an era of car that has really come into its own in the classic car auctions. There's not many people who can afford the 100,000 plus cars, but there's more that can, from a couple of thousand up to 20,000. The market's absolutely booming, but only for the right cars. There's all sorts of dross thrown into auctions, and they make no money at all because they've got no following. This car, because it's incredibly rare, has a following. Because it's the first of its type, it has a following. But because of the mileage, wow, this is a truly extraordinary vehicle. We deal with classic cars. I deal particularly with Honda classics, and I have to say, it may well be that this video becomes just obsolete or of no purpose at all, because if I can find space for it, I will have this car, because I think it's going to car. A, I will love using, but B, I can see its values climbing over and over the next few years, because it's just such an original vehicle. But the point of the video was actually just to show the car in operation, and for those who may have had one years ago, hopefully bring back some hopefully very fond memories of the car. But as I said, the purpose is to pick up on any issues on the vehicle, of which I can find nothing. Absolutely diddly squat. If I've missed something on the video, then obviously don't hesitate, please do give us a call, but this is a quite exceptional car.